Hi, my name is Elizabeth, and I'm here to talk to you about technical communication, which I refer to as TC or TechCom. When I got to tech, I didn't know that there was a degree. I was just trying to decide which kind of engineer I was going to be. But every TC major here is required to do an internship. And my mom came home from work one day and said, "We have this intern who's a TC major, and it would be perfect for you, and you would love it." And the first thing I found out about TC was kind of, editing. You think of it, writing and editing. And I realized that it would let me do one of my bucket list dream jobs, which is to work as an editor for Random House, because I was brought up reading fantasy and sci-fi, and a lot of it was published by Random House, and I have always wanted to work there. So first I realized that I could do that. Then I took my first TC course, which was actually visual communication, but my professor talked a little bit about grant writing, and I found out that that was a job, being a grant writer, and that it was actually also kind of a cool job that I might be interested in. And basically, now every time I take a class or go to a conference, I meet people who have jobs, or I find out about jobs that TC will let me into that I would really want to do. So I don't have a dream job. I have a whole bucket list full of dream jobs at this point. Funny story, trying to figure out which engineer I would be, I fell in love with civil engineering. So, how does TC apply to you guys? TC complements any major. I'm not worried about being torn between being a civil engineer and being a technical communicator, because technical communication it applies to everything that you do, everything that you have to write, everything that you have to say. Standing up and giving a presentation, that's technically communicating. Hey, do not be afraid to double major. Do not feel like you have to make your mind up. I'm a double major, and people tell me you're going to be here forever, and so what? I'm going to get 2 degrees out of this, and I will always have a job. There are always technical communicators needed to do all kinds of jobs, all kinds of writing, all kinds of communicating. Civil engineers, everybody needs a house, right? So don't be afraid to double major. Don't feel like you have to give up your engineering or your love for whatever else you do, because you totally don't. But if you don't want to get a whole major, consider getting a minor. It looks fantastic. It tells people, hey, I pay attention to what I say and write to other people and to how I come across. So, employers, if it takes you a couple extra semesters to get a TC minor, go for it. Do it. And, alright, my big rant here is that TC is not just more English. I mentioned writing and editing. That's a big part of communicating. Writing, editing, writing well, yes. But TC is not just more English. And, sometimes you get lucky, you get a great English class, but a lot of the time it's not the same as technical communicating. It is different. And I would rather walk out of here finding out that I have a giant Sharpie mustache drawn on my face, than walk out of here with you guys thinking that TC is just more English. Okay, we are the fighter pilots of the writing world. We tear things down and we put them back together until they make sense. We do not tolerate bad directions, unnecessary hyperbole, or anything else that turns language into an obstacle rather than a tool. Reading should be easy. You should never have to struggle to understand what you're reading. That is just bad communicating. Okay? Textbooks, terrible. Most of them